on.
We're live.
We are live. Hello, everybody. How is everybody? Hi, Chris and Connie. Um, so we have a pretty good lineup. Today we have Uncle Al from Die Bullfrog 79. We have Will from Just in Time Preparedness. We have Willie from Steve Brahms and me. I keep freezing. It's really windy in Iowa. Willie freezes once in a while too.
It is
So,
windy.
yeah. So, anyways, we always start, and we will start right now, like we normally do. Uncle Al, you want to tell everybody about your channel and why you started your channel?
Let's see. I got tired of watching everybody saying this thing or that thing about survivalism, and they said you could drink pool water. I'm looking at that. Hell no, you can't drink pool water, or you could go out in the wilderness in spandex. I'm like, no, you cannot. Or if you buy this food bucket, you will survive 125 days. I don't think so. So after all that stuff, it's old Uncle Al. I'll shoot anybody down. Well, I can't say shoot anymore, but I'll disagree with everybody who's flashy or like, if you buy this product from us, you could be a macho man or Rambo or something. No, I'm old Uncle Al. I look like this. I'm not macho. I'm not big. I'm not buff. I sure ain't the A team, so I started my channel and have fun. Also, have the gardeners too and homesteaders. I'm looking at them like, so you sold off everything and you went out to the boonies and have no idea what you're doing, right? Yeah, we're having loads of fun. And 2 years later, they're foreclosed and see a tumbleweed roll by their kind of dilapidated house or trailer, and it's kind of tilting and there's coyotes roaming around. Yeah, homesteading. Who's next?
All right, we have Will from Just in Time Preparedness. Can you tell us a little bit about your channel and why you started it up?
For you guys who don't know me, I used to be just in time prepping. Changed my name to JIT Preparedness, so that's who I am these days. Uh, I I guess I started because I was bored. I been retired for several years, and I know a lot about the outdoors. I can't do too much of it anymore. I have COPD, and it's gotten so bad lately that I have a real hard time getting around outside. But I don't let it stop me. I use all my skills and my knowledge to pass it on to whoever wants to listen to my old body carry on. And I have a lot of fun doing it, and I just continue doing it no matter what. I always change up the format a little bit. And I have a couple of live streams I have fun in, and I do some videos. I don't really get to go out and do a lot of stuff outside anymore due to my lungs being so uh, down these days. I think the last time they checked them, I have 15% left in my lung capacity. So kind of limited as to how much I can do and when, but I really put forth whatever I can because I have a 21-year-old son. He likes to still go out, so he carries my old ass out and gets me outside to do stuff as much as I can, and it's fun. And I make videos when I'm doing it. You guys come on along with
Awesome.
me.
All right. Now that I know where
It's
you live,
that guy's turn.
yep, Willie's turn.
I have the Steve Brahms channel, and we do a little bit of gardening and greenhousing and farming and trapping and hunting and camping, and a little bit of everything. Vehicle repair. It's my busy time, so I've been horrible about doing videos right now because we've been swamped at work, trying to get stuff done while it's beautiful out. And hopefully we will make a few videos soon.
Right before the winter storms
Yep.
hit, and then you have
All
more
right,
work.
so
That you're not far off.
yeah. So before we can continue, Willie, you tell everybody about camp coming up, please.
March 26th, 27th, and 28th, we are doing the Country Prepper or Jeremiah Memorial Camp here in Southwest Iowa. Everyone is more than welcome. There's no fees or nothing. Just come out and remember a good guy. And yeah, that's what I remember. Send me an email if you need any more information.
Okay.
SteveFroms@gmail.com.
And don't forget, folks,
Is
SteveFroms@gmail.com.
Kaylin out there?
Let me.
Is Kaylin Strain out there?
She is.
Yes.
All right, Kaylin.
She sure is.
All right, Kaylin. I'll be getting it in the mail to you tomorrow.
All right. Oh, isn't
Tyler,
that
see
nice?
It'll be up in the mail to you tomorrow, Kaylin.
Let me get you there.
Oh.
Go ahead, Will. Show it.
the big screen.
Did
Oh,
just
isn't that
a sheath.
beautiful?
Just a sheath for Kaylin.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Sure.
All right. Oh, shoot.
Oops.
I
Got
meant
the
to do
wrong
that,
person.
and somehow I did something wrong.
Will's there, and then Kaylin. Oops. Kaylin's down there.
I don't know what happened here.
Willie's down there, and
There we go.
Will's
Sorry.
over there, and then the corner is Thack. Okay.
All
We're
right,
having
so I
fun.
am going to go to the side chat and start welcoming our guests. We have CR, Creative Redundancy. We have Brenda, my wife. We have Prepping Life, Johnny, hello. We have Chris O'Connie, welcome, welcome. We have Jay in the Sticks, welcome. We have Jordan Rolfe, the young man, joining us from Kansas. We have Old Man, welcome. He's been a great supporter. We have my friend Jason Williams, also there. We have Kaylin Strain, and we have Corn-Fed Experience. Who else do we have? Oh, the Idahoan came in. Hello. Hello. And now we have Sloan's Wilderness Expeditions also in here with us, and Sean Brahms, Willie's brother. Welcome, everybody. I am sorry, my internet is really sucking right now because it's so windy out. But
17 in the chat.
Wow, that got to you already? That's awesome. I did not think it would get to you that quick. We just mailed it yesterday, huh? So anyways, yeah, it looks like a lot of people are in Iowa are having internet issues because of the wind. But
my phone froze again.
The reason why I picked this lineup tonight is no, you're fine. We can still hear you, Willie.
There you go. My phone froze again.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Mine does too, all the time. This wind is just killer. But hey,
Well,
if you guys don't know,
I'm not that far from it, so I think it's my phone's messing up.
If you freeze, just keep on talking. It'll pick up.
So-
It'll catch up to you.
But anyways, I invited Uncle Al on here because Uncle Al is a survivalist. I invited Will on here because he's a prepper, and well, Willie is always my co-host until he gets too busy to come on, and then I will look for a new co-host. Um, but anyways, a lot of people, because some people already, um, so Uncle Al, I guess this question is for you. What is the difference between being a survivalist, okay, and a bushcrafter?
Bushcrafter is only set in one area, which is temperate climate, wood and forest. He's not adapted to sea, desert, alpine, or mountains. The swamp, urban areas, suburban areas, only in wooded areas where there's trees. And when you don't have trees, how can you be a bushcrafter in the middle of the desert? Or in my area, I have 3 different zones up in the mountains with 16 feet of snow, walking around like, where's the tree? It's past the alpine point. It's all snow and rocks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, I just need to say hello to Mario Mosen real quick. Welcome, Mario. Mario is a veteran, and I so appreciate his service to our country. So I wanted to stop everything and say that to him real fast. And oh my goodness, guys, pupils, I haven't seen this guy in a long time. Welcome back. So, anyways, what do you think is the difference between survival? Do Will and Willie? That's gonna drive me crazy tonight. What do you guys think is the difference, or is it so similar? Is this the same? Will, Willie, whichever one you want to talk, go ahead.
I don't know. I think bushcrafting would be the same as prepping, is just how people want to refer to themselves. That's my personal opinion, because the they get into the communities here on YouTube that call themselves bushcrafters, or they get another community that call themselves preppers. That doesn't mean that they can't do both. It means that they just prefer to be in that community. So they start telling everybody, hey, I'm a bushcrafter. Even though they can do both, they choose one or the other. And that's how they want to carry their I guess the theme in their channel. That's my opinion anyway. I think they can do both.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of have to agree with that. That a lot of people just use it as a category
Yep.
for people to find on there. It's still, a lot of it is still just camping in the woods with selected items. It's what it is. I really am not one, but I could be one if I wanted to. But I always called it camping.
What, Uncle?
Cool.
Oh, as
So,
Vietnam lady says hello.
Yeah, I think it
Sweet
is. I mean,
home.
basically, it's all the
Oh.
same. And everybody has a different thing. I mean, if you really looked at it, we're all just outdoorsmen here, just talking with each other, trying to get a new outlook on some part of our life. We all do the same thing, but maybe
So,
maybe Zach does it different than me. So he starts sharing what he does. Pretty soon, some of that rubs off on me, so I can start trying some of what he does and let it rub off on me and start doing it. But who really notices? Nobody really, because we're all here for the same thing.
Zach, you have a question? You're looking
so
like this.
yeah, I do have a little question. So, with you being prepared, and hi Kyle, being prepared and surviving, how has this pandemic changed your outlook on some of the things you guys prepare for?
Me and Will were laughing because we knew ahead of time what was going on. We already got our stuff. We didn't run out for toilet paper. We just looked, gee, that's a lot of toilet paper they're running out for.
And that's the difference right there, is knowing what to be ahead on before the next guy. So you're not out there saying, Those guys are all out there looking for toilet paper. Maybe they should buy it from us.
No, I have a bidet. So, and I did a video on that too.
Hey, you want some of my toilet paper? I put it in my bidet yesterday.
Yeah, it's $20 a pack. And I did sell some toilet paper on eBay.
So, Guy's Pupil says there's different traits when it comes to actual survival and being an outdoorsman. Are we talking post-situation survivalist, or are we? Oh, there. Or
Froze.
are we talking someone who lives survival? I don't know. What are we talking
I'm a
about?
generalist.
Willie, take it.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm just I live every day and I don't worry about a lot of that name stuff, and I work outside every day. I have the stuff. I was an Eagle Scout. The first thing you learn in Boy Scouts is be prepared.
Yep.
And you just don't make a big deal about it. You just keep doing what you always do. The pandemic hasn't changed my life at all, except for the fact that work has been busier. Because we grow vegetables, a lot of people went to the farmers markets last year to buy fresh vegetables from people that they can know in the community, and that we were busy. But other than that, I do the same thing every day.
Yeah, you're right. Whoever brought that up, you're right. Some people are meant to be a survivalist over a bushcrafter or prepper, I guess.
Or
Some
those,
people that are getting into our communities are finding out from the pandemic, actually, that they need to be prepared.
like the
So
tech,
they are starting to come and hang out in our communities, different ones along the way, to figure out what they have to do to survive the pandemic.
right.
And then now that they're getting in here and figuring it out, they're finding out how we live to always be ahead of the ball game. That's the best way I can put it. If you're ahead of the ball game, then you don't have to worry about the little things.
Right.
Little things will just fall into place.
Right. But if you
I
drop
guess.
the ball like Texas is a good example. It's the Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
Texas Snowmageddon.
What happened
That's
there?
a good-
I've been at work, so what happened?
Texas froze, and they have about $33 billion worth
Oh.
of damage. That was last month. So, like I said, I'm cracking up. Nobody was
Yeah.
prepared. Water pipes froze. We did a video, live stream right on it on the Texas snowpocalypse. I think we did about last month.
Yeah, it was last month sometime.
But
Yeah.
it's because they privatized their electricity and stuff, right?
No, Texas is its own.
So
electrical
let's
system?
look at that.
Texas,
Yeah, so they privatized it, and that's what hurt them, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Also,
And
Texas.
the EPA.
What?
And the EPA, because they've been shutting down the small electrical generators that used to run on the number 5 diesel. They've been closing them down because they aren't as economical, and everybody's been going to solar and wind power, which then they do not have to guarantee a certain number of power amount of power. So then when they fail, there's not enough other ones to pick up the slack when there's a heavy load. So then it kind of screwed everybody.
Like
And
Not
there's
only
no
that,
money,
they were trying
and
to
there's no
blame it
money.
on. They
There's
were
no
trying to
money.
blame it on the private citizens when it wasn't really the private citizens' issue.
Right. But you know what's the funny part of all this?
Trying to keep it nice.
Right. What's the funny part of all this? Guess who's the board of directors of Texas Power Grid? Where they're located at, and it ain't Texas. Take a wild guess, folks.
I have no
Michigan.
clue.
The guy's reading. I'm sorry, I was reading the thing. It said windmills froze up. The windmills only froze up because they didn't have them turning. If they had been turning, they wouldn't have froze up.
Yep, that was Kyle's comment. And also, they had the ice storm, so they had to shut it down, or the propellers would rip off. And you don't want a 15 to 30-foot propeller coming through your house. That's a big no-no.
Say the windmills behind my house are 158 foot long
True.
blades.
Too
You
windy
still don't
here.
want
We
that
shut
to go through your
some of
house.
ours down too. Really?
Mine run the whole time across the road from the house. So
Willie.
Yeah,
yes,
Okay.
if they turn just a little bit, they would not freeze up because the motors would be running. The motors would be
Generator.
warm.
Generator.
that wasn't it was the ice buildup on the blades is why they did it, because they're afraid they'll get out of balance.
And snap off.
Oh. Okay.
Because we got windmills where our
Because our windmills worked in that cold weather that we had, but the reason they shut them down there off was because of the ice buildup. That way it wasn't flinging sheets of ice off of them as
That
they're
makes
spinning
sense. I
around
wouldn't want
and get out of balance and then tear stuff up.
ice cubes flying down at me.
Yeah, because
Especially
it
at
was a
your
horrible
house.
storm.
especially your house. Your house is there, or like
All right, there was
2
a
years.
couple people that showed up that I didn't say hi to. So hi, Kyle Lusk and Trey Azell, brother. How are you? Welcome. Anyways, yeah. So do you guys think if they hadn't privatized their power and whatever else, do you think they would have been prepared? I still don't think they would have been prepared because
No, because
they live in such a warm climate, right?
right, but also Texas is a different power grid than the rest of America.
They have
America,
their own power grid,
right?
separate from the rest of the country.
Right, because before they privatized it, used to be the Texas Republic Power Generation Grid. That was part of Mexico. They had problems with Mexico. I think it was in the 70s or 80s when they're still using diesel. So they cut everything off and they formed a different corporation for Texas. You see, the youngest of the three is Alaska, Hawaii, California, Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia. We're on the same, how can I say it, loop? While the older system, when you start from the East Coast, that's 140. I talked to Gil about this on Cap Patton's Family Compound. We found out that the first electrical grid was formed in 1882, and it's still working. It's like, oh, God. And you go back and you follow the pattern, like the East Coast, it's like, oh my God, it's like a car built out of different car parts. It's a 59, 48, 37, 29, 2012, 16, and 3,000 pieces of car all mashed up on the East Coast. And also they have 19 nuclear power generators that I'd be really nervous living close by. Everybody forgot 3 Mile Island. And everybody's froze or stunned.
Yep. Welcome, Reef Robber. And you know what? Guys, people brought up a really good point. Guys, people says the real issue was that the few power plants stopped producing during the winter because they usually don't use as much. So I think that absolutely, whether it was government or privatized electricity, they would have not been ready.
Well, I heard somewhere, and I'm not sure even remember where, because I read a lot of stuff. But I understand that the United States government asked them to come in there and help them get back on their feet with their power, not take it over, just give them some help. And the Texas people told them they didn't need any help. So right there, that was, in my opinion, that was a fail. I mean, they should have taken the help and then pushed them off later.
Right. But also, I think it was that, and then, Will, it's because Texas is on a different cyclic rate from California and the central states and East Coast. They could buy power, but they only in small amounts in certain areas because the rest of Texas, they can't transfer the power. It's not the same cyclic rate. So it's like, okay, it's like the old DC and AC before they fixed everything in 52 on the East Coast. We can't get power out to the poor communities because they're on a different cyclic rate than the
grid. Yeah.
Well, not grid, cyclic rate. Than the. I wish Reed was here. Reed from Magnify Your Imagination. He explained it. The poor communities cannot get, like Oklahoma could give us power. They can't do it because it's not synchronized. So if they send too much power at one time, everything goes boom, and you're in the dark again, and nothing works.
It was a bad storm. I really feel for all those people. They were not prepared for it whatsoever, and it wasn't their fault. It was the darn weather.
I hope I'm not spitting out blood. I'm paranoid.
But I just wish that people could learn to work together better than they do.
Oh God. Yeah,
So
that's
Kyle brought up a good thing. Good, whatever you want to say it. They don't have fireplaces, so and stuff like that, and they're not used to that weather. So they really did go overboard on usage, even though they did power. Rolling. What do you call that? Rolling what?
Blackouts.
Rolling blackouts. Thank you, honey.
Or in California, we
even
call
though
it
they did
intermittent
that,
power.
they just and the funny thing was, so my three sisters, my parents, and my brother live in Dallas, right? And
God,
let me
I'm
tell
sorry.
you, I was giving them trying to give them as many suggestions as I could, and it was crazy. Like they didn't have power banks for phone charging. They didn't have. I mean, it was crazy. And then even Willie, so I told him to do the candle with the pot. Remember that, Willie?
Yep.
And Willie says it will not work.
No.
There's not enough BTUs.
Right. First rule of
Tell
thermodynamics.
people what would have worked.
I can't. What?
We're getting feedback. She's
So
asking
you said
what would
that
work.
I used a fireplace, but I don't know what you're asking me.
She's saying what kind of
No.
alternative
So
heating
guys,
method?
people. Yeah, what alternative heating would you guys have used? Because guys, people said a lot of people die from carbon dioxide poisoning because they didn't know how to heat
your
their
car
place.
in the garage. To keep
There was
warm.
people that started their car in the garage to stay warm, and then they died of carbon monoxide
Yeah, I
poisoning
know.
because they left the car running with the garage door shut.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm Japanese, so I'm used to cold rooms, and we either have a propane heater or we have a kerosene heater. And I grew up with a kerosene heater with a teapot on top, and I just like look at that. I'm like, we don't have a fireplace. We got a kerosene heater, and I'm a dairy guy, so I have about 3 or 4 of them because cows get cold, and we have them cranking in the dairy barn because cows give milk when they're warm. You try to milk a cow when it's 40 degrees. See how happy they are.
The people in Texas, you would think they would start taking classes or something of how to take care of themselves in case this would happen again. It probably won't ever happen again for another 100 years. But in order to make sure that you're covered, you should at least try to educate yourself. I mean, what do we do as a society? We sit in our houses and we have our noses in your computer or your telephone or whatever. Why can't you look up a simple fact of how to stay warm in a blackout or whatever?
It's
That would
like
be
me.
simple enough, but people don't think of things like that until it's too late. I'm guilty of that as much as anybody else.
But it's like me. I'm paranoid. I'm a
Yeah, guys.
survivalist. What? Thack? You cut off on mid sentence.
But guys, people did say monoxide. Sorry, I was the one who said dioxide.
It's all right. Like me, I'm paranoid.
So
I don't have a
here's
regular.
the thing. What
Okay.
I want to know. What I
what's
want
that?
to know is what would have you guys suggested that they do use to stay warm, since they can't build a fire in a fireplace?
Blanket,
Willie,
A
go.
blanket.
sleeping bag, blanket, quilt.
Yeah,
Now,
water
anything.
bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Willie knows my old trick because I'm an old timer. Remember the fire brick we put in the fireplace or in the campfire, and we wrap a towel around it and put it in the sleeping bag?
You
That
can
Do
do
that
keeps
with
you
that.
a water
nice and
bottle.
warm. Yeah.
You gotta be careful. You can't get your bed on fire doing that. I've known.
Yeah, I
people
know.
do
I did that once.
I had a buddy that caught his on fire because he put the rocks inside the sleeping bag
I know.
without wrapping the rocks up first.
Fire. That's why you have a fire extinguisher next to your bed. I'm paranoid.
But would
I'm
have
a
that been
prepper.
safe for
Not
them?
prepper. What? A hot rock? Yeah. If you wrap
That's
it up,
safer
you
than
don't.
freezing to death.
Yep. Oh, built the fire outside of the house. We have to tell these to the city folks in the audience. You built the fire outside and keep the rocks and brick. Then you take it inside the house
Yeah.
or put it in a
Break
metal
it
bucket.
down. Break it down step by
See,
step.
I didn't think that.
It
You
gets
could have started
ridiculous.
your grill, your gas grill, and warmed it up on your gas
Oh
grill.
my.
Yep. Just not in the house, outside
Just not
the
in the
house.
house. I agree.
Yeah. It's like
Okay,
people.
so not a
Well,
lot
we
of
got.
people are going to have those rocks.
Buy a
So not a
You
lot
don't
of
generator.
have a
people are
rock
going to
in
have
your
those
yard?
rocks.
Hey,
Come here,
question.
guys.
You have a
Right?
rock in your yard right now, Tack?
Well,
In your flower bed, you have a rock?
a wet rock.
Won't
It
matter.
won't be wet when it gets
One
warm.
rock. I do have one rock, but it's
See?
wet.
It'll
But
be
it's
fine.
wet though.
It's not in a
Doesn't
river.
it
It's
explode?
fine. No.
No. It depends on the. Well, Willie knows what I'm talking about.
Oh,
It depends on the
see?
strata
I
of
gotta
rock.
ask.
One of your cement landscape blocks, a retaining wall block, anything. You have it. You got a gas grill. You turn on your gas grill. You put it on there till it's warm. You take it in the house and cuddle around it.
Or you can put it
It'll
in
give
a
off heat.
right. Or you can put it in a metal bucket, which is a lot easier. Do not
Yeah.
put it in a plastic bucket. Everybody's waving 5-gallon buckets. I'm looking at it's made out of plastic. It's like I'm
Let me
expecting
tell you
it.
how to stay warm, Zach. You want
It's
me to tell you
like
how to stay warm? By a generator.
God. And please do not use the generator in the
Go
house.
ahead, Will.
That way you can plug your own little heater into it.
Okay.
I have
That part I
have
know.
one. I have one. It's a hybrid. It can be propane or
Go ahead, Will.
gasoline. I have one that's gasoline or propane. That's so in case the lights go out, I have a way to have a heater, have my machine that I need for my oxygen to be plugged into, and keep my refrigerator going.
Yeah, I'm old
Oh,
school.
that's great.
I got
So,
2 battery
you know,
banks, which I'm running right
all
now.
you gotta do is
Well,
fill it up
see,
every 8 hours with
but
gasoline, and
see,
surely you're gonna want to go to the gas station or a store or something once a day from your house if you're in that situation.
And if they don't have generators, you're out of luck.
Generators would be a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
yeah, and you guys got to remember. So Dallas, just the city alone has more in their population than the state of Iowa.
Yep.
So a lot of them are not living in homes; they're living in apartments and stuff.
I'd for sure have a
So what would
generator.
you suggest for people like that?
Don't live in an
You can
apartment.
still have a generator.
I agree with Willie.
Because I don't think people that live in apartments could use a generator.
Sure,
No,
they could. You could
What'd
exhaust
you
them
say,
out one of
Willie?
your windows.
no, you're going to still get carbon monoxide poisoning in the house. It was shown in Beirut. And people in apartments, they we'll run it off the patio or run it off in the living room and we'll vent the gas. Next day, they find family of 12, carbon monoxide poisoning. That's why I have a battery
Most
bank.
apartments anymore have a deck on them. You can put the generator outside and run the cord in.
Right. But the only problem is if you have the whole building doing it at the same time, you're creating a gas
You're
cloud.
telling me that all those people are going to be that smart.
No, a lot of people aren't. But I do a battery bank. I do a battery bank. It's easier. If you have a solar array, one bank, you put out the solar array, it's portable. You hook up to your batteries. I have like 10 batteries on each row. So right now we're doing battery bank power. That's why it's like kind of dark and everything. So sometimes, well, Will knows what I'm talking about. Sometimes when we're talking, all of a sudden I'm dark out and you can't see where I'm at. But the nice thing about a battery bank, it's like the old World War II submarines. When you stop using the sorry. When you stop using the diesel generator, you could switch to battery power, and that I could power half the house with. I just got to be careful about it. Oh, another thing about apartment buildings. Does anybody knows about apartment building flushing system disposal of waste? And no, Willie?
I
Will?
have no clue.
I live
Nope.
in the country, so no, I have no clue about apartments. I've never lived in an apartment. I never want to live in an apartment.
Yeah, apartments have that pole that goes all the way up and out to vent the toilets.
You know why? Because of
No.
pressure. Because of pressure. Because Gil and me were talking about it. That's why you have the vent pipe for the whole building. Because I used to do building maintenance. Once you lose the pumping source of the city, guess what's back flushing from very top of the apartment building all the way down, coming out of your toilets, sinks, bathtubs, squirting out like.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what's giving it the pressure to push it down the sewer pipe into the main line.
right, but it does the opposite effect because it's creating a vacuum because there's no more pumping drawing the stuff out of the building. So everybody who uses the toilet on the top 5 floors goes down to the first 3 to 4 floors. It'll come out of their toilet. It won't flush out because there's no pumping. So when the pump stops, there's no drain. So basically what happens is anything that flushes, it's like overflowing a bathtub. Everything that comes from the top floors, guess where it's going? And you have a first floor apartment. So you have 17
Oh
floors.
wow.
All the waste and poop and everything are coming out of the toilet, not going out to the central line because you need pumping for that because it has to have a suction to draw it out. And that's why you have the air pipe because the air lets in, sucks out all the stuff out. Will's thinking because the house, it's the opposite, but it's still same effect in the major cities or in the country. If you have that pipe and you don't have like Willie, you got a leach line and septic, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have that to draw it out, by force of gravity, guess what's coming back into the house? That's why they had outhouses for a long time. All the stuff inside the cesspool coming back the other way because you're creating a natural vacuum and like, gee, it's last night's chicken coming back. No, just kidding, folks. But it's true. You have to be careful in apartment buildings. But with heating apartment buildings, sleeping bag clothes, heaters, small heaters, do not use hibachis. God, we have more people die from that here in my area. Yes. And also dry bags too.
All right.
I would say a lot of blankets and quilts and whatnot if you're in an apartment.
Yeah, they found out a lot of old people die like that. They don't generate enough heat. That's why I have a 40 and below heavy duty Eskimo bag.
That's got a good one too.
Yeah, I have actually I have a electric sleeping bag that runs on a power bank.
Yeah. You got to be careful, folks, on the power
Runs
bank.
for 8 hours.
Yeah. But you have to recharge it after those 8 hours or you just have dead weight. So you have to have either a manual generator, a gas generator, diesel generator, or solar panel.
Or Willie and I have cars that you don't need to have started to plug into, right, Willie?
Yep, I can go plug it out in my vehicle.
Yep. It's a truck,
Yeah,
right?
electric car.
Nope,
Yeah.
You don't have a truck?
I don't have
So
an
Uncle
electric
Al, you
car.
brought up something. So Uncle Al brought up something earlier about he realized a lot of preppers don't have bicycles. Do you think those people down there
had bicycles?
I guess I don't know how to phrase my question. Let me think on that. Let me think on that one.
I say a bicycle, I don't think would have helped
Okay.
them in that situation.
So what
That
is
would
your
help them if there was a
biggest
grid down and they couldn't get gas. But I don't think with the cold a bicycle would have been
No.
beneficial.
Because I've been in the third world and you could use a bicycle.
Yeah, but
take off
were
the
they
rubber-
able to get gas?
Yeah, it's easy. You take off the panel off the pump, and it's all gear system, even the digital ones, and you hook up a big the rubber band you use in your car. I can't Willie, what they call it?
Serpentine belt.
Yeah, and then you hook it up to the pump, and you run the bicycle. Just remove the tire, and you pedal, and you pump out all the gas out of it. And it's digital, so it doesn't read, but you get free gas. I know dirty tricks, folks. That's a third world method. Don't tell anybody.
Do not listen to him. If
You
any
asked
of
a
you go to
question.
jail, it's not my fault.
True.
We
It's
cannot
also-
be held liable
Oh,
for
boy.
anything that we say or hear.
especially Uncle Alan.
It was all his fault.
Yep. See, right there.
It was all his fault.
I'm not an elf or a smurf or a leprechaun. I just look like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we know that they were not prepared. We know that it wouldn't have mattered if it was government or privatized, right? We know that. But here's the thing. What would be your biggest advice to them now that we do know some of it? What is your biggest advice? Don't say generator because they don't have any.
Watch Willie's channel.
Go ahead,
or watch
Willie.
Will.
I don't know what the best thing I could say is. You just have to be prepared for unseen things. I mean, crap happens, power goes out. I mean, what if it was summer? It would have been hot. They'd have been just as horrible and miserable, but they wouldn't have had to worry about the frozen pipes and crap. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just different. I don't know what I could tell them to do because most of them people aren't going to listen to anything you want to tell them anyway, because they know better than me. That's why they live in.
That's basically it.
All right.
You can tell them everything that you
Well,
want.
what would you tell them? Because you said. Well, because you said that it may not happen again for another 100 years. But here's the thing: it happened 10 years ago, and they didn't learn. So, what do you any advice? One piece of advice.
I'm with Willie. You can tell them whatever you want, but they're not going to listen to you. They're going to say, "Well, we got through this one," and they're going to go on about their lives. But the ones that will listen to you are probably going to store up on some extra blankets. That would be something that you could put away in a closet or something and not worry about for quite a few years. That would be the thing to do.
Yeah, and you can smile. This woolen blanket right here from Old Uncle Al's Supply Depot is only $175. It'll keep you from freezing. You get the money, you sit back in your nice warm house with a kerosene heater, pop up with a cold one from your generator-powered refrigerator, and you have no problems while they're at home around a candle like, what the hell are we going to eat? Let's go see Uncle Al. Hi, you can buy Uncle Al's box of food for $300, and that'll feed you nicely. And everybody knows I'm not kidding about the food because I'm doing a lot of food stuff. Right now, Del Monte Moore followed my advice, and we
All
got
right,
extra
so let's talk
portion.
about that. You said that
Okay.
So you're saying those buckets are not good?
Oh, hell no. I wouldn't eat them. Those pre-made buckets. It's like, remember, Will, we did a live stream on the whatchamacallit bucket, Wise Food bucket. It had maggots in it because they didn't package right and it leaked all over the bottom. And he spent $75 for a 3-day food supply. Yeah, full of maggots and food you cannot eat. This is a standard one after years of nagging. This is the big one, the extra large. See the difference? And both $3.95. 6 ounces of food.
You see what they're trying to gouge you for those buckets?
Yeah, I know. I make my own bucket. Put good food like this in there.
You can actually make your own buckets. You don't have to worry about those guys.
Yep.
You can put your own food in there that'll last a lot longer than the buckets they sell you.
And taste better too.
And they'll taste better too.
Oh, and you mentioned on your live stream. Everybody go check on Will's live stream. I think it was December or November, Will. Was it December or January?
Which one?
I think it was January. I'm not too sure. Will's channel right there. We were talking about Wise Food buckets. And one of them in the Mylar pouch had something that didn't feel right. You were telling me about this. And it was a freeze-dried rat.
Yeah.
Remember, it was tuna casserole. I don't think tuna casserole is supposed to have a skeleton in there. And because White Food got busted for the lowest and cruddiest product in the world. That's why a lot of survival stores are like, we'll sell you all these Wise Foods. And everybody in my community, the survivalists, we ain't going to touch it. And we don't care about the discounts. We know what's in your food. Hell no. Even the dogs won't eat it.
Yeah, I've got a bucket of food. I'm going to be opening it up and doing a video on it. So you guys pay attention. I'll have it up here probably about a month.
Yeah, which is going to be scary. Just be careful, Will. Don't gas yourself. Open up.
I just want everybody to see what they're getting
True. Any
for
thoughts, Willie?
what they charge.
Any thoughts?
I agree.
Yeah, like
So
He
what do
he
you
concurs.
suggest then for long stored food?
okay, that's a different thing. The food buckets for like what they have in Texas, you could do temporary, and long term food storage is. I did it with Gil on his channel.
It's a totally different ball game.
Yeah, it's a totally different ball game, and you got to be very careful on it.
Have you got an hour or so?
2 hours because I tell people you have to be.
Bama said he would.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bama
right.
has some of the buckets.
Alfros.
I would sell them.
He said he would only eat them if it was
Yeah, he said he would die.
he was about to die. That's what those buckets are for. Keep you from dying, or that's what they tell you.
Right, and then you die from food.
I would
poisoning.
rather prepare my own food and store it, because even if you do that, you still have to rotate the food. So you have to eat what you're storing, and you have to rotate it and keep putting it up. Rotate it, keep putting it up.
Right.
What do you like to eat? That's what you want to store.
Right, but I have to warn on CR. Oil and fats. I have to warn people because Uncle Al knows how to store lard. A lot of people don't know how to store lard and how long you could store it. Because oil and fats go rancid. If you eat rancid food, what will happen? You run to the bathroom. That'll stop your constipation really quick. Freeze-dried foods, a lot of people goof up on freeze. It's true. A lot of people goof up on freeze-dried foods because they don't consider the oil content of the food. And once that food in the Mylar bag of freeze-dried goes bad, it turns black and has an off-gassing. So you open it
that
up.
bag. Holy cow.
Right. Like a lot of people who freeze-dried eggs. Eggs is a different process. Avocado is a different process. Do not freeze dry eggs, avocados, shrimp. 3 big factors of you going to the hospital and having something going down your throat or going up the other way to save your life from, let's see, either constipation, food poisoning, Crohn's disease. What the doctor says, I talked to him about internal distress. And he told me if you eat really rancid food, your stomach or upper smaller intestines will either decay or rot. And you don't want that to happen. And I got to get ready for Gil's live stream. I have to hop off. Any other further question before I go?
Okay, before you hop off, Uncle Al, somebody has a question for you. What do you think about Mountain House freeze-dried food?
Oh, I used to work for them. They're really good, and I own some shares. The only problem with Mountain House, you want to space it out, like 1 meal a day, and eat something else, because it's really high in sodium and salt. That's one of their preservatives for that freeze-dried food. Will, we did a thing on Mountain House, didn't we?
Yeah, that's good. Mountain House is one of the better ones if you're going to buy them.
Right, but you
They
have to
actually take and try to put food that's good for you in their run.
But you can't eat it daily because I forget which. There was a Canadian prepper ate it for like a week, and he said he got constipation for a week. He had to take so much X-Lax to go to the bathroom. It wasn't even funny. And that's when you hold the toilet paper roll and says, "This roll is extra soft for $50."
That's another thing about the bucket food is you can't eat it all the time. I mean, you can order it and have buckets up to the ceiling, but it doesn't mean that when it comes time to be in your bunker or whatever, hiding out from everybody, that you're going to survive just totally off of those buckets, because if you think that, then you're probably going to die yourself. You
Yeah.
have to have other food to eat with it.
Go check out Hubble's cat rectal hydration for people who eat too much freeze-dried foods. There's a
Oh yeah, that
tube
one
and
you
a
put out
bag of
lately. Yeah,
a bag of
that last
saline.
one.
Yeah, bag of saline solution, and somebody you really like help you out with this big tube that they carefully. Well, you know where it's going to go. It's like an Emina, but a lot worse. And then after a while, you be running to the bathroom. It hydrates you and cleans you out. Sorry, being evil. Anyway, I gotta get ready for the. Yeah, I know.
Willie, do you guys can?
We have, but I haven't for a while because I haven't had time.
All right, Uncle Al, thank you.
All right, catch you later, folks.
Okay. All right, thank you, Uncle Al. Folks, don't forget to check the description box below. Check out Uncle Al's channel. Oh, there we
All right,
are now.
I'm gonna have to go too. I
There
have
we
to
go.
go to that same live stream.
All right. Okay, well, we'll see you later. Everybody, check out their channels for us, okay?
Yeah. Sorry, but I got to go to another live stream.
All right, Willie. It's just me and you.
Feels like last week.
So you were saying, yeah, I know, but you were saying you normally do can, right?
We have. I haven't for a while because I just haven't had time.
Ah.
You know, when the
Hey,
vegetables are ready,
welcome.
I'm really busy.
Yeah. Welcome, Crazy Scotsman. Brother, how are you? You know, here's the thing. What do you think is better? Canning, dehydrating, or, well, or freeze drying? Now, I know a lot of people don't. We don't have them. That's cost hundreds of dollars.
I know
And
somebody with
thousands
a freeze dryer, and I want to play with it so bad, but I haven't had the nerve to ask.
Oh, come on! I think that would be.
Apparently, they freeze dry candy like Skittles, and it's to die for. I can't figure it out, but apparently it's really good. But they're not as bad as they used to be. But I personally feel if you're going to do that, you really, really need to probably do all three. Because some things are better one way versus the other. I think you need to really, and then that, again, like what they were saying, if you only eat the bucket food, you have issues. If you spread it out, if you have a failure in one thing, everything else will carry it out. You know,
Oh, look at that. Unpaved Explorers. Can you read that, Willie?
I
Says I
I
use
use
expired
expired
powder food.
powder food. My powdered PB expires in 2019. I use it for smoothies. I have liquid poop afterwards. I thought it was the milk. Could be rancid peanut butter oils in the powdered peanut butter. I would say yes, from what they were saying, it probably is. I wish I had someone who could harvest deer for me. Where are you from?
Old man is up in Washington, not the
A little far
DC, the
for me to
other.
drive.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Isn't dehydrating one of the oldest? It is. But you know what? There's a difference between what they did back then. They smoked a lot of it,
They
right?
smoked a lot. Well, and then they
They
cured
smoked it.
ham and they soaked it all in salt, like
Yep.
salt pork and all of that.
Yeah. Yep.
And smoking and dehydrating are somewhat similar, but it's kind of a different process, but it's the same. It's kind of a mix. But
Kaylin, I don't know about that. I dehydrate and smoke my food. I'm good with that. It is a good skill to have. I know a lot of pickling. I am not very good at canning yet. But I am trying to get somebody to help me can fish and meat. I really want to learn how to can fish and meat. You know? Because I think because
We had a family
the
friend that used to can deer meat every year. I'm
yeah,
not a big fan of it.
really, some
It's
lady at
mushy.
work.
The worst of it is it
Oh,
keep you alive, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
I would rather have it other ways.
yeah. But you know what? This lady brought this brisket, canned brisket in, and I thought it was just freaking awesome.
It
You know
might
what
have
I
been their
mean?
recipe too. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Anyways, but okay, vegetables. Vegetables. A lot. I see a lot of people do that canning. So yeah, the other day, I yesterday was it yesterday? No, Sunday. I actually froze. What do you call that? What did we freeze? Asparagus, and I thought it was actually really good.
Yeah,
But
you can buy it froze.
yeah,
If you have a big
okay. Let's.
freezer and a way to keep the freezer cold.
Yeah. Well, during the duration when I lost power, I got really lucky that I had it in the basement where it's normally cold, you know. Um and it was dark, so I got lucky. I got really lucky. A lot of people have it like in the, you know, where it's warmer. So they all right. Let's see here. Play-Doh chuck. Okay. Space bars. What the heck are space bars? Anyways. All right, Kaylin. Good night. Everybody is slipping out. They are going over to the other live stream. Yeah. People want to know what are space bars or deer burger. I'm going to tell you, deer burger is really, really lean, old man. I'm not too much. I'm not too much for deer burgers.
We mix it with pork half and
Unless,
half, and then it's not so bad.
yeah. Johnny, I sent you a link if you wanted to join us. I didn't know. But actually, we did hit the hour already. But, the chat was going so good. So, yeah. How's life going, Willie? I know you've been really busy.
Freaking swamped because it's been so nice out. We got all the perlite in and we're ready, almost ready to start planting the big tomatoes.
Okay, if anybody wants to know what a space bar is, there it is. Equal parts powdered milk, honey, and peanut butter. Ooh, I don't know.
Maybe we
Sounds
should
like
try
something
some. We
that.
have a camp out coming up.
Should we do it? And then what do? You just mix it up?
I guess it'd probably make with the peanut butter, honey, and powdered milk. It would be um, like a ball, like cookie ball dough or something.
Uh huh. I got tons of powdered milk.
I have
You have
honey.
honey. And oh my god, I just got 10 bottles of peanut butter from my father in law.
You
We should
can.
try it.
We might as well.
Who is it?
It's Norris
Yeah,
coming
we might
down.
as well. Chuck, we're gonna try it. We're gonna video it, and we're gonna give you a shout out there. Hi, Nora. Are you getting ready for bed?
Yep.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let you go so that way you can go tuck her in.
Okay.
And I want to, but before that, let's talk about the camp one last time.
The 26th, 27th, and 28th of March, we are going to have the second annual Jeremiah or Country Prepper Memorial Camp here in Southwest Iowa. Everybody is welcome, no fees. We will have some gifts and prizes, hopefully. And if you have any more questions or want more information, email me at stevebrahms@gmail.com.
Brahms@gmail.com. Oh, tell them about the t-shirts.
Oh, we got t-shirts.
Do you have a picture of it?
I need to know soon so we can, if I can get it, where's the camera? It says, you don't have to be crazy to camp with us. We can train you. And then I got to move it the other way. The front will be yellow. We run out of ink when we printed it. And there's the picture of the back. And we might put a date on them. We're deciding right now. But I need to know here in the next day or so we can get shirts ordered. Right now, there should be about $25-ish a piece. I know the bigger the go, the more they cost, so we might have to tack a couple dollars on for the larger sizes. I do have PayPal. My wife has Facebook Pay. We do have a credit card machine at work, or a Square that we can run it through and send an invoice, and Venmo. So there's lots of different ways. We're not worried about the money right this second, but we need to know sizes so we can get shirts, so we can get them made before, and then we will ship whatever postage is on. We'll charge you for the postage, but
there you guys go. Yep. All right, folks. I want to thank each and every single one of you for joining us. The other people, our other guests, had to leave early. Hey, look at you wearing the AOK t-shirt. Willie, all right, good night, old man. Willie, Chuck
yes,
says you
Chuck,
have his
I have
order,
yours
right?
written down.
All right, and you have mine written down.
Yes, I have yours written down.
Okay, and then, all right, anyways, folks, we will see you guys later. Thank you so much for coming in. Catch us next week. Don't forget, April 27th, we will not be on. But we will
We're
be
only
back
a month
next
and a
week.
half away from it, and you have to remind everybody. But
I know, right? But next week, I don't know what we're doing yet next week. I do not have a plan for next week. I did want to do a little thing on guns, but we'll have to see, because I don't know.
Can we? I don't want to get in trouble.
We can do something on guns as long as we are not holding the guns, right, Scotsman? That I believe that's what it was. I can have it on the wall. I can have it wherever.
On the
We
table
just cannot
behind
be
me.
handling it. Huh?
Okay. I can
Yeah,
put them
we
on the
just can't
table
be
behind
handling
me or something.
Yeah. We just can't be handling it, is what I was told. I'm going to try and line up a couple guests, but you guys don't need to know about all that. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all your support every Tuesday. Please hit that thumbs up if you like our chat, and you know what? Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Until next time, folks, may all your adventures be A-OK.